and girls, welcome back to Watch the Time. So I'm really pleased to be able to bring you the first time I featured a Rdunae on the channel, and I did feature this watch on my top 20 AliExpress summer sale video. Really like the look of it. They got a couple three variations. I've gone for the grey one. It's got like a sandblast / bee blast finish, and it looked really nice. The grey dial as well just looked beautiful, so I wanted to get it in. This has been sent over to the channel. I didn't need to pay for the watch. I do get to keep it, but come on guys and girls, you know that does not change anything that I say or do. I'll always keep it 100. I know lots of people do say that, but I can only be myself. And if you know me, or if you got to know me through the time, you know that I'm not one to conform. I don't just toe the line. I'll tell you exactly how I see it, just because I feel like you guys deserve that. You guys pay your hard-earned money for these products, and I'm never gonna just blow smoke. I will keep it 100. So hopefully by the end of the video you'll know if it's for you or not, but it's one that I really wanted to look at. So yeah, I'll stop going on, but with that being said, let's get the camera turned around and get on with it. Hi guys, so this is the watch. As I said in the intro, it's my first Rdunae that I've had on the channel, hopefully not my last. Yeah, quite nice packaging. Comes nicely stowed away in this travel case. You got Rdunae written on it. It just comes with two clips holding it in place. A little bit similar to what San Martin used to produce in Steel Dive and Addy's Dive, but just a little bit better, I would say. There's the watch. I'll just put that to the side just for a second. Inside you got some foam just to help it stay safe in transit. You got a spring bar removal tool, and it gives you a couple of extra spring bars in there as well. Hang tag that was on there, instruction booklet, just outlining also the movement it's got on there as well. And it was also signed. So this one says the R2X GY. GY standing for grey, obviously. That's all the information. But let me just put all this stuff away so we can concentrate on the actual watch itself, because that's what you're here for. So this is the Rdunae. It's a Captain Willard Seiko turtle sort of homage they've gone for. Very nice. They offered me the chance at all three options: the grey, the black, and the black and gold and stuff. I'll bring the other colours up now, but for me it was quite a straightforward choice, to be quite honest with you. This is the one that really piqued my interest. So the model number for this is the R2X. As I say, it's the grey version. Inside it's running an automatic Seiko NH35 movement. I'll bring some information up about that movement now. You'll get this movement in multiple watches now, whether it be watches from AliExpress or micro brands. The reason they use it is because for what you're paying for the movement, it's very reliable, very rugged. 24 joules, 21,600 beats per hour. It's not a bad movement at all, and it's used in a lot of watches at this point for good reason. But yeah, that's the movement. The construction of this watch, it's got the little bit of different finishing, but generally the watch itself is 316L stainless steel. So that's aside from the bezel, insert and the crystal. So that's the case, crown, other part of the bezel, and the case back is all 316L stainless steel, apart from the fact the case has got a bee blasted finish, quite similar on the bezel as well. And as you would have seen before, the case back is high polished. I'm not sure why they went for a high polish, to be honest, because not very much. It's not really in keeping with the rest of the watch, but that's what they've done. And a high polish pin buckle clasp as well. So yeah, 316L stainless steel for those elements. The case thickness of this watch is 12.8 millimeters. The case diameter, when you go from the 9 to the 3, which is obviously when the crown isn't on this one, it's coming at a 44.1 millimeters. When you go from the, including the crown sort of situated near the 4 o'clock position, it's going at a 47.9 millimeters. The lug width on this is 19 millimeters. Yes, I know we're going to touch upon that in a little while. And the lug to lug, tip to tip, is 47.4 millimeters. So that's the dimensions. Quite wide because it is a turtle, but what saves it, again, I've said in other videos, is the lug to lug. The length of the watch on your wrist is kind of very important at this point, especially with a watch that's a little bit wider. So they're the proportions, guys. The bezel is an aluminium insert. Again, looks very nice in keeping with the bead blasted finish of the case. I'll let you have a quick listen. yeah, very, very nice. Massively surprised by the bezel. 120 click bezel. All the clicks are very crisp and clear. No bounce, no backplay. A very, very good bezel. Nicely done. The crown is situated at the 4 o'clock position, and it is a very similar crown, if not the same, to what they used on the Mercia Ocean Master watch that I reviewed a while back. I'm not really too keen on the writing they put on there. Would much rather have seen their logo. But the crown itself is nicely nailed. It's quite nice. They've got an indentation at the back, just allowing you to sort of gain access to the crown a little bit easier. And then you also got this screw down case back with the turtle. Let me just wipe it again. It's a real fingerprint magnet. I do apologise, guys. So you've got the turtle engraved on the back. At least there's consistency where it is a turtle. And just some information of the watch to send you the materials and stuff. So yeah, nice. At least they've not put a dolphin or something on the back, because that'd be a bit random. See, that's all good. The strap it comes on, it fits. I think it's a rubber, but it feels a bit plasticky. It's okay. It probably lasts a long time, but I would have preferred sort of like a rubber or a softer rubber on there, to be honest. And the clasp is a pin buckle clasp, high polish, as I've already mentioned previously. The crystal covering the dial, I do apologise, guys. I've got a few lights on here to help with legibility, but it seems to be sort of, you can see the blue AR coating sort of showing up a little bit more with that being on there. But yeah, it's sapphire crystal. Yeah, nice bit of sapphire crystal. You know, I do love a bit of sapphire crystal on my watch. And the water resistance of this watch is 150 meters. So that'll give you 15 atmospheres of water resistance. A bit of a random number, but given most of the watches on AliExpress, if not all, are not certified, I don't think it really matters what they say, to be honest. And the weight will appear in the top right hand corner. It's in and around 99.5 grams, give or take, but that is on the rubber strap, so that's a decent bit of heft. Let's have a look at the dial now, guys, in a bit more detail. So what you have is you've got a minute track going around the outer edge. Inside of that, you've got applied indices everywhere except for the 3 o'clock, which is making way for the date window. But it has got a border on the date window and also done pretty well. Let me take it out to the sort of 20 past 8 position, which is normally where I like to crack on with it with. So yeah, date border going around the date window. As I said, applied battens or indices everywhere. You've got a slightly different batten at the 12, a double batten at the 6 and 9, and a singular batten everywhere else except for the 3 o'clock. Obviously, below the indices at the 12, you've got the Rdunae logo, and I don't mind that logo, to be honest. I think it looks okay, nice and clean. Hopefully they're consistent with their branding, and yeah, so it looks nice. And just above the indices at the 6 o'clock, you've got automatic water, 150 M proof, just outlining the fact it's 150 meters of water resistance. And the hands and indices all high polished, all finished nicely, and it's got loom as well. So I'll bring the loom up now just to give you an idea of what the loom is like. And yeah, bang on, lots of loom on there, no issues with that whatsoever. They've not saved on the Department of Loom. They've definitely gone all in on that, so the loom's done very well. And as I mentioned to you before, it's got a Seiko NH35 movement. If I take the crown out, it will hack. You'd have seen that a moment ago when I changed the time. You put it back in, it will start back up again. You've got the ability to hand wind it. If you take it out to the first position, you can just scroll through the dates and put it to whatever date it is at that time. As you go, and as like I said, when you're finished, you can screw the crown back up. And like I said, given the fact they've got an indentation on the back, it does make it a little bit easier for that bit of purchase. So I do like that. But that's the dial, guys. As I say, nice grey sort of dial. That's the reason I went for it, really. The grey with the B blast finish of the case, I think really looks really, really nice. But let me just pop on the wrist quickly, give you an idea of what it looks like on my wrist. My wrist is just above a 7-inch wrist. For your reference, you'd have seen it on the intro where I had it on outside conditions. Now I'll show you what it looks like under my studio lighting. And there we are. Yeah, nice piece. It looks like it's got plenty of AR coating, but it does seem to have a bit of glare, so I do apologise, guys. But that's the watch. Yeah, it's got it's got loads of holes in there, but they're a bit staggered, so we'll talk about that in just a moment. But yeah, looks really nice. It's had a lot of wrist time recently for me to be able to review it and do it as concise as possible. and I've actually really enjoyed wearing it, to be honest. It's a really nice watch. But that'll now take me on to what I think is pants and pucker about the watch. I always start with pants. I like to go on high with pucker. So what I think is pants is, yeah, I mentioned it earlier, the 19mm lug width. I'm sure you could squeeze 20mm on there, but why the companies do that, I don't know. I think with the lug width, it needs to be 18, 20, 22, and obviously if you're on a larger watch, 24, whatever. But I don't know why you go for odd numbers on lug widths. That's just a bit strange. So yeah, the lug width being 19mm is a bit weird. The holes on the strap, I don't know if you can make that out, but they're way too spaced apart. When I'm wearing it now, I either need to wear it too tight or loose, and quite a bit too loose, because you can see there's quite a bit of a gap there. You're talking a centimetre gap between the holes, which is a bit too much. Like I said, they instead of having it every other one, they should have put every one, so then you'll get the better fit for yourself. So yeah, the strap holes, the clasp, and the crown for that matter, the signage. Yeah, the high polished, again, not in keeping with the watch. It should have been a B blast finish, and the lack of signage as well, which is a bit of an issue in terms of just putting lock on there and nothing on the pin buckle. So lack of signage, as well as the pin buckle clasp being high polished, and the polished case back. As I say, it's nice. It's not too bad, but it's not really in keeping with the watch, given it's a B blast finish watch. Yeah, even if they just went for a brushed case back, I think that would have been a bit more consistent, and you still could have had all that information and stuff on there. So yeah, they're the things that I think pants are. Just to surmise, I'd go with the lug width, the strap holes, the high polished clasp, the unsigned elements on the crown and the clasp, and the polished case back are what I think is pants. What I think is pucker is quite a bit more the dial. I do like that grey dial. It's stunning. Hope it's really picking up under my camera and under the studio lighting. The dial's beautiful. The hands and indices, high polish, finished really well. Really done nicely. The loom, as I mentioned, the loom is done really well. Very happy with the loom. Not much else I could have asked for really with the loom. The bezel's fantastic. I'll let you see this now. If you see there at the bottom of the bezel, I've not seen that before. That is really nice. Like a little flange, if you like, just to sort of, so there's no gap. But yeah, it looks really nice. You can't really tell unless you sort of tilt it this way. But yeah, the bezel itself is just crisp and clean as you like. The crown, in terms of, the crown's a good size, nice engagement. And I do like the back of it, where they've got an indentation for you to really gain access, for you to make it easy for yourself. And the case finishing, the B blast finish on this watch is done really, really well. I can't fault it. Consistent throughout. It would have been nice for a case back to be the same, but yeah, the case is finished really nicely. So just to surmise, what I think is pucker is the dial, the hands and indices, the loom, the bezel, the crown, and the case finishing are what I think pucker. And would I recommend the watch? I definitely would. I'll definitely try and pick up in a sale though, because this is coming in at £160, and that's quite steep, isn't it? Given what other watches they're about for these sort of Turtle and Captain Willard homages in terms of steel dive, Addies dive, and the like. So it is quite expensive. Done very, very well. Don't get me wrong. And I almost did put the price into the pants section, but it didn't quite make it in there. But yeah, the price is going to be off-putting for some. But in terms of the things that I mentioned for pucker, this is a really nice watch, guys. Really, really happy. I'm going to be keeping it in my collection. Actually, I'm going to sell my Addies dive Willard homage and keep this one, just because this one feels a bit more like me. But guys and girls, please let me know what you think about this watch, and maybe any other watches you may want to see on the channel. And as always say, don't forget to like, subscribe, and always watch the time. Take care, guys. All the very best.